Moving to the next question, the question 11 is inverses of linear functions. Here you can see we have been given a function f of x equals 8x minus 5. We have to find its inverse. You can see f of x is over here. That means its function of x or y equals 8x minus 5. Always remember, if you have been given f of x, g of x, s of x, anything like that, this all indicates they are y value. Okay, so they are all the function of x, which is y. Now then, here what you need to do is inverse. What exactly is inverse? What is inverse of, say, 2? 2 inverse is 1 by 2, or we write it as 2 to the power minus 1, because when we take it up, it will become exponent of minus 1. If you take x inverse, you can write it as 1 by x, or in simple, we can write it as x minus 1, x power minus 1. So if I tell you inverse of a, it will be a power minus 1, a inverse. Now what is the inverse of f? It is f minus 1. What is the inverse of f of x? It should be f of f to the power minus 1 of x. So this will have minus 1. Okay, this much is, I think, so clear. Now when we solve inverse, we have to remember one rule when it is, say, like this in a graph coordinate plane. X and y inverse would be swapping these both. So if I find the inverse over here, it will be swapped up. So you need to make this y as x and x as y. That's it. This now y is basically the inverse function. Always y is given as the function of x, right? So yes, this is the function, but we need to make sure we have to write it as f inverse in a while. But now what we need to do is we need to solve only for y. Take everything else to the other side, this minus 5 to the other side. It becomes x plus 5 is equal to 8y. Divide both the sides by 8. You will get y equals x plus 5 by 8, isn't it? Now this y is the inverse function, f inverse of x, because we swapped over here x and y, so that became the inverse function. Now in the exam, since it's electronic part, all you need to do is directly you can see f of x. Directly you can write it as, instead of writing y, you can directly write it as x equals 8y minus 5. You don't need to do the steps, isn't it? Then what you need to do is just find for y. So I'll take this x plus 5 equals 8y divided by 8 divided by 8. So this will be your answer. You should just choose f inverse x is equal to x plus 5 by 8. That would be the answer. Okay, now generally they'll write the answers only like this. But if at all you see here, you can divide both the terms by 8, isn't it? It will become x by 8 plus 5 by 8. That is equal to f inverse of x. This is rarely given in the options. Generally, this would be the option which will be given, x plus 5 divided by 8. Now over here, what do we have is the same thing. I'll quickly solve it. I'll directly make this y to x is equal to 6y plus 7. Now, it's up to you. You can multiply this inside if you want. It will be 6y plus 5 times 30 plus 12 is 42. And take the 42 to the other side. It will be x minus 42 equals 6 by y. Divide both the sides by 6. You will have x minus 42 by 6. You can just stop here because it's electronic. That's the answer. X minus 42 by 6. I mean, this also can be written, but it's really done. Generally, you will get this in the options. Please do these problems by yourselves. I will solve it anyways, but you can, skip ahead or solve this by yourself and then check for the correct answers. X is equal to 3 by 4y plus 9. 9 to the other side will be x minus 9 equals 3/4 y. 4 times x minus 9 divided by 3 would be equal to y. So that would be the answer. Or there might be some variation. The 4 might be multiplied inside as well. Or this entire thing is multiplied inside over here. You can, no, it's just kept like this, sorry. This is the correct answer itself. And here as well, please solve them by yourselves now. X is equal to minus 16 plus 2 by 5y. It will be x plus 16, sorry, I'll write equal to by 5y, this 5 to the other side, and divided by 2. So that would be the answer, that is y, this goes off. So it's 5 by 2x plus 16. And here, again, another simple one. It's x is equal to 3y plus 5 divided by 4. See, I'm not writing y is equal to and then changing. I'm directly changing it over here. It's up to you. If you're getting confused, you can make that step as well. It'll be 4x is equal to 3y plus 5. Take it to the other side. It'll be 4x minus 5. That will be the answer. Just directly jump to the answer because it's all in electronic. Okay, now I forgot one important thing. 3y. I took this minus, it's 3y. Divide both the sides by 3. It will be 4x minus 5 by 3. That is equal to f inverse of x. I hope that is clear. And similarly, the last problem, just like that, it will be x is equal to minus 4y plus 1 divided by 5. 5 to the other side will be 5x equals minus 4y plus 1. Now here what you need to do is, because I need y always positive, I'll take this to the other side, I'll swap these two, okay? 4y becomes positive and 5x becomes negative plus 1. And now y is equal to divided by, it'll be 5x plus 1 divided by 4. That'll be the final answer. I hope that's clear. Now over here, they have written the same thing, but they have written 1 first. You can also write this as minus 5x. That is also absolutely fine. So that's the thing. You can just imagine you have minus 2 plus 1 or 1 minus 2. What's the answer? Here it'll be negative 1. Here also it's negative 1. So that is fine. So that's the answer. And that's the end of this question. Another simple question. Just remember, for inverse, you need to swap x and y positions. And then you need to solve for y, which will become the inverse function.